Welcome to our Financial Literacy Education series, where we cover a range of topics to help you get a better understanding about your money, to help you become more engaged with your money, and to help you make better decisions about your money. My name's Corin Jacker. I'm from Priority One Wealth Management Group. In today's episode, we're actually going to have a quick recap about some of the issues we've covered so far. So in previous episodes, we started off by looking in detail about why we need to understand and be engaged with our money. We also looked at getting good advice, and also we then covered the wealth creation topics: investing in your own name, debt reduction, superannuation, and gearing. So let's look at some of the key takeouts of some of the things we've covered so far. The first one we looked at was why we even need to understand and become engaged with our money. And we talked about some major economic issues, such as the government perhaps not being able to support as many of us in retirement as they have in the past. But really we focused on the need to understand why money is important to you. Once you understand why money is important to you, then you can understand why you're working the way you are, why you're earning what you're earning, and also you become a lot more conscious about what you're spending your money on. You can start to focus on spending your money on things that do add value to your life and do increase your level of happiness. The other thing we looked at is understanding, becoming engaged with our money, is getting that understanding of the cash flow, the budget. Without an understanding of that cash flow and budgeting, and without identifying surplus amounts of income, we can't look at wealth creation options. One of the main things we looked at in relation to budgeting was a simple 10-20-50 rule. And that rule was, if you've got debt such as a mortgage, you should still be aiming to save at least 10% of your income to put towards one of the wealth creation options we went through. If you don't have debt, it should be 20%. And if you're at home living with your parents and they're supporting you financially, you should be saving 50% of your money. Once you've got that surplus cash flow that you're able to save, we then went on to the wealth creation options: save in your own name, debt reduction, super and gearing. In relation to debt reduction, we focused on that, comparing it to investing in your own name, because it was easy to compare the rates of return that you might be able to get. With debt reduction, we really focus on the need to look at high interest rate debts. If you have a credit card and you're paying that off monthly without paying it off in full, it might not seem much, but the amount of interest that's being charged becomes quite large over time. So let's get rid of these high interest rate debts first. That's our priority. We looked at superannuation. Superannuation probably is financially, on paper, one of the more attractive strategies we can do. That's because it's taxed concessionally. So when we're working, 15% tax for most of us, and in retirement, it's largely tax-free for most of us. That's the carrot. The stick is it's locked up until retirement. So for some of us, particularly in your 20s and 30s, that's impracticable to put every spare cent we've got into superannuation. But it does play a part, even at a small level at those young ages, to take advantage of compounding interest. And as you get older, it should really become one of the number one priorities of wealth creation. We looked at gearing, borrowing to invest. Typically people consider that as buying an investment property, but you could buy shares as well. We looked at the potential benefits of leverage and borrowing more money and investing more money into growth assets. But we also focused a lot on the risk. It is a higher risk strategy than others. So you need to go into a gearing strategy with your eyes open and your preparation complete. We need to make sure we look at the risks that can potentially go wrong, mitigate those risks, eliminate those risks, and manage those risks. And once you've sorted out that plan in terms of how you're going to work through your strategy, should different things go wrong, then it's an appropriate strategy for you to continue to pursue. So in the second half of this series, we're going to start moving towards managing your assets once you decide on what wealth creation strategy is going to look at. And then we're going to move into retirement issues, estate planning, and risk protection and issues in relation to insurance. So if you need to go back and recap any of our episodes so far, please do so, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you. Goodbye.